Hi guys, I hope you are well. I'm just bringing you some updates on Laurie Vallow as she is now back in court for the trial for conspiring to murder her husband, Charles Vallow. Now we know that previously she was found guilty for the murders of her children. Yesterday she did opening statements and we're going to have a listen to a couple of just small clips just so you can kind of hear the way that Laurie was talking. Now, the prosecution obviously did their opening statements and they put their argument forward that Laurie Vallow had conspired to take the life of her husband, Charles, because she wanted to be able to move on and marry Chad Daybell.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have been charged with a crime, a serious crime. And the only question here is, did I commit this crime? Conspiracy. Conspiracy is an agreement between two or more people to commit a crime. Okay, so you see, okay. There has to be an agreement. There has to be a plan. The evidence in this case will show that Charles Vallow and I got married in February 2006. It will show that it was my fourth marriage and Charles' third marriage. At that time, we each had 2 children. I had Colby, who was 9, and Tylee, who was 3. Charles had Cole, who was also 9, and Zach, who was 7. The evidence will show that our family moved from Austin, Texas to Chandler, Arizona in 2009.
So as you can see in this initial part of the opening statements, Laurie Vallow is very softly spoken. I think that's purposeful. I think she kind of takes that approach to try and win the jury over, and she very much keeps this opening statement part very concise. You will see she keeps saying the evidence will show this, the evidence will show this.
Will show that Alex entered into the residence with Detective Moffat, but that Tylee and I were met by Detective Inkland in the front yard. The evidence will show that at the time, Detective Inkland asked Tylee and myself if we had Charles' cell phone. Tylee retrieved Charles' cell phone from the rental car and gave it to Detective Inkland at 3:11 p.m. on July 11th, 2019. And at that time, Charles' phone was placed in the custody of Chandler police detectives. The evidence will show that Detective Inkland asked us if we knew the passcode on Charles' phone, which Tylee proceeded to give to Detective Inkland.
So as you can see here, she's being very concise. She's explaining the situation as to what was occurring in the home when the police arrived. The police were one of the first to speak yesterday during the trial, and she does a good job with that, and she continues with that very softly spoken. And she, you know, if you could quite believe her, you know, she's very much the evidence is going to show. The evidence is going to show. In the last part of her statement at the very end, she's very concise, and I thought she wrapped it up quite well. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to play that for you now.
They're alleging that insurance money was my motive. Social Security was my motive. Spouses having insurance policies is not a crime. Collecting Social Security is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. A family tragedy is not a crime. It's a tragedy.
As you can see there, she rounded that down with, you know, it's not a crime to have life insurance policy, which obviously it is not. And she did say in her statement that it was something that her and Charles would do, and then if the premiums would change, that they would move and look for a different company, which again isn't a crime. It just so happened that clearly it doesn't look great for her in this situation. And then she kind of, you know, it's not a crime to have a family tragedy, but I mean, there's a family tragedy and then there's family tragedies, and there's been a lot of tragedies in this woman's life. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you are following so you don't miss updates, and make sure that you are subbed to my YouTube channel, After Dark Coffee and Crime, and I will do a daily update on this trial for you. Bye guys.